Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan, a product manager from EditorX, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build this running text effect, which is also responsive and works well on all screen sizes. Alright, let's dive in the editor. So I've got my hero section pre-built to save us some time, and we're going to be working on a blank section below. Now first we're going to add a container which will contain all our text elements and dock it to the left with no margins. So remove all the margins. Let's put it 100% width and set it to be 100 pixels height. Now we can remove the height that the section had, the minimum height, to none. So basically the container determines the height of my section. Very well. Now you can add a text element here. I'm just going to paste mine. It looks like this. And we want this text to have a moving effect. We will need to duplicate this text 3 times to cover all screen sizes from the lowest to the biggest screen. So let's select the container, apply a grid of 3 columns and 1 row. So we have place for all our text elements. Great. Now we can set this text element from the inspector panel to take up only the first column, which is going to be 1 to 2. There we go. Now it looks a little squished. That's because our container is small. So we're going to set 100%. We're going to replace it with 5,000 pixels just to have enough space to work. Very well. This should be also 100% width and docked to the left with no margins, like this. Now we can duplicate this and set this to the second column from 2 to 3, also no margins and 100% width. Okay, there it is. We can scroll to the side and we can see the element. And duplicate one more time, set this to the last column from 3 to 4, no margins and 100% width. Very well. Now this text is covering all of the container, which is set to 5,000 pixels. I set it to 5,000 pixels because I knew the length of my text, but you can do it by selecting your text element, switching 100% to pixels, and duplicating this number by the time of elements you have in your container. So if I have 3 elements, I duplicate this by 3. Okay, that's how you know the size of your container. Now we're going to change the grid area in this container from 1FR to max content. So this way the column will adjust according to the content inside of it, which is the text. We're going to do the same for all 3 columns. There we go. Now this is the structure that we want for this text to move, but we don't want this overflow to the right. So what I did is selected the section and changed to overflow height. This way we have our text elements hidden. We don't see it actually on the live site. And we have the big container that we can move horizontally with an animation. Great, let's see if it looks good also on tablet. Alright, on tablet we will need to make this container a little smaller. For example, 80 pixels height, and we'll change the width also to 40-50. I did exactly the same as I explained before. I just selected my text element, changed the width to pixels, and multiplied it by 3. Very well. So it looks good, and we can move to mobile. In mobile view, once again, the container is too big, so we're going to change the height a little bit, and also the width. I do not remember the width. It's here, 3350. So I'm going to put 3350 pixels width. Okay, looks good. So that's for the structure side. Now let's move to the Velo code. So in the Velo editor, I have the code that I'm going to share with you as well. And basically I'm creating the animation here and breaking it into 3 different breakpoints, the same as I have on the top bar right here. I have the desktop, which is 1000 pixels and up, 1001. I have 751 to 1000 and 320 to 750, which is mobile. As you can see here, I also left comments. These refer to the breakpoints. This is desktop, tablet, and mobile. In the desktop, according to your desktop size, you need to adjust this number. If you have an additional breakpoint, then you just copy and paste this one additional time. And the slider width is 5000 because, as you remember, on the desktop, our container is 5000 pixels width. So we just divide it by 3, and that's the amount that we want our text to move. So it moves this amount, and once it reaches the end of the animation, this container jumps back to the beginning. Now this happens seamlessly because we have all 3 columns exactly the same way, structured exactly the same way, and with the same text. So we won't see this jump happening. This is what creates this feeling of like infinite and loop scrolling, loop animation. Alright, so these are only the numbers that you need to adjust. Down here we have the animation in which we put the slider width that we're moving, which comes from these numbers. The duration is basically the speed that the animation is happening. You can make it slower, you can make it faster. And easing linear always should stay here as is, do not touch this. And these 2 functions right here basically improve our performance because no one wants the animation to happen once this is not visible on screen. So we play it once the text section is visible on screen, and we pause the animation once it leaves the viewport. Hopefully this helped you. If you have any feedback, you can leave it on the forum, and have a great one.